So, a little backstory on the 99 Wideglide. My first bike, my first motorcycle I had, street bike that I ever had. Mom and Dad bought me a dirt bike when I was a kid, but this is the first street bike I had, and my buddy Lance and his brother Sam were selling it, and so I had the money and I bought it, and it was cool, man. I mean, it's every piece of chrome you could buy for that year a bike, and twisted spokes, and just, I mean, yeah, your elbows would get sore from polishing all the chrome. But anyway, so let's see, I think I bought that thing in 2005 or 6. It could have been later than that. Anyway,
fast forward to 2016.
Yeah, I had it for a while, and I liked it, rode it, sounded really good, and didn't sound like any other Harley. It had its own unique sound to it.
Sexy sound.
And I met Dyna, and we rode it a lot. And then her health, back and everything started deteriorating to the point where she couldn't ride it. She could go on short trips, but if we ever tried to go anywhere very far on it, her back would get to killing her, and we'd spend more time stopped than we would riding. So I told her I would get us a bike that we could both ride together. So we decided that we'd get us a 2016 Ultra Classic, and was going to go the Geezer Glide route. And boy, was it nice. It was a Cadillac. It rode smooth, and it was comfortable, and you could ride for days, Well, in buying this thing, we didn't want to wipe the bank account out, so I thought I could trade this bike in and be okay with it. So they gave us X number of dollars for it, and I was like, okay, and just kind of reluctant about it and everything, but I was going to be okay with it. We got out there on that new bike, and of course it was raining, and we got back home and everything, and we just looked at each other and we said, we screwed up.
What did we just
we sold the hot rod, and
they're both Harley Davidsons, but the other bike was his first ever bike. So what did we just do? What did we just trade in?
Yeah, we traded off one of the kids. And so from that day forward, I started looking for it. And I looked for it, 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 and I looked for it. And I looked for it for 8 or 9 months. And I happened to walk into a used bike dealer there in Grand Prairie, and
he described it.
We walked around and we looked, and it wasn't there. It wasn't there. So we were leaving, and one of the salesmen said, "Hey, can I help you? Can I help you find something?" I said, "I'm looking for something that's not here." And he said, "Well, what are you looking for?" So I described the bike. He stopped and thought for a minute, and he was like, "I actually have that bike. We just picked it up on Friday." And it was like, okay, well, he's got a bike that looks like mine, or it's
he's
close to mine or whatever. He's going to try to sell us something.
We didn't believe him.
So
we followed him.
He had us sit down in his office, and he went to the back, and about 15-20 minutes later, he come back, and he said, "All right, come with me." So we walked out there.
And both of us were looking at each other like, he's just going to try to get us to buy something.
Yeah. But apparently one of the shop guys, they had it in a storage building, buried in the back of this little storage building they had out behind the shop. And when he cranked it up, I knew it was it. Because of the unique sound. And I got a glimpse of it when it went across, and I was like, oh my God, that's my bike.
And we
so
almost pooped our pants.
Walked around the corner, and there it was. And Diana's like, Well,
buying another bike.
what's this going to cost us?
So just to end the story, so
Anyway,
it's not so long.
We bought it back.
We bought it back.
And I was, apparently when I traded it in to Adam Smith Harley Davidson there in Bedford, they sold it to their wholesaler, Lucky Penny. Lucky Penny sold it to a guy who bought it, and he took the quick disconnect windshield off, and he took the luggage rack off, and it had a paint chip in the tank, but he only put like 250 miles on it. He traded it in, and then they sold it to
somebody else.
What was the name of the company?
I don't know. It's not real relevant at this point.
Yeah, but I'd like to put the name out there because they were
Yeah,
good guys.
They were good guys.
I'll get the name to you. Anyway, we bought it back for less than we bought it back for less than they gave me for trade-in on it. So I actually made money, but it cost us in the end. Yeah, when I got it back, man, I was like a kid in a candy store. Not the fact that I had two bikes, but I had my old bike back, and I didn't ride it much. In fact, I rode the big bike for a couple of years, and then I got to where I wasn't feeling good, and that bike sat for a year. The old bike sat for even longer, and sold the Ultra to Jacob, and then
One of our sons.
He wanted this bike ever since I bought it, and he was after me, and I finally just said, you know what, it's sitting there in storage, it's not doing any good, it's setting up. You know what happens when stuff sets up? Falls apart. So I asked him if he wanted to buy it, and he said yes. So
That's what our video's about. It was kind of bittersweet. I knew that it was Dennis's first, and it was our first travel bike. But we've kind of put together the video of where Dennis got to start the bike one last time, and Jake takes it over. That's what this video's about. So.
yeah, it's been a while.
All right. Don't cry, honey.
I won't.
I might.
It's only a motorcycle.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit lighter. Oh, it's a whole lot lighter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 500 pounds. Our other was what, 800? Saying goodbye to our last Harley Davidson. Giving ourselves more points.